Hello, Palm Springs! Are you happy warriors? Are you joyful warriors? Oh God, I love each and every one of you. We are going to start off as we do every one of these rallies, and I know I've seen you at so many. We are going to start off with America the Beautiful, and we would like to welcome to the stage a freshman music major from College of the Desert. From right here in the valley, it is Mariah Hernandez. I see your signs. I see a lot of anti-billionaire sentiment. Billionaires aren't all bad, are they? Hey, what about J.B. Pritzker, the billionaire governor of the state of Illinois, who this week said in a speech in New Hampshire, "It's wrong to snatch a person off the street and ship them to a foreign gulag with no chance to defend themselves in a court of law. This is not about immigration, but about the Constitution." Standing for the idea that the government doesn't have the right to kidnap you without due process is arguably the most effective campaign slogan in history. He said that. He said that immigration is part of the secret sauce that makes America great. Immigrants strengthen our communities, enrich our neighborhoods, renew our passion for America's greatness, enliven our music and our culture. They enhance understanding of the world. The success of our economy depends upon immigrants. Yes! And Governor Pritzker mentioned that more than 45% of all Fortune 500 companies were founded by immigrants or children of immigrants. According to this billionaire, yeah, he's worth $3.7 billion. His family started Hyatt hotels. According to billionaire Pritzker, we have a Secretary of Education who hates teachers. We have a Secretary of Transportation who hates public transit. We have an Attorney General who hates the Constitution. We have a Secretary of State, the son of naturalized citizens, a family of refugees, on a crusade to expel our country of both. We have a head of the Department of Government Efficiency. Elon Musk is an immigrant. We granted him the privilege of living and working here in this country. This is a guy who's made hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm sorry, hundreds of billions of dollars. And the government has subsidized his businesses for decades. And he's the one who is looking to shut down the middle class to fund tax cuts for him and his billionaire buddies. These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace. They have to understand that we will fight their cruelty with every megaphone, with every microphone that we have. We must castigate them on the soapbox and then punish them at the ballot box. They must feel in their bones that when we survive this shameful episode of American history with our democracy intact, because we have no alternative to that, we will relegate their portraits to the museum halls reserved for tyrants and traitors. This week, Governor Pritzker said, cowardice can be contagious, but so too can courage. Just as the hope that we hold on to in the darkness shines with its own special light, we're willing to fight. Are you willing to fight? For our democracy? For our seniors? For our veterans? We have our veterans here. For our fellow human beings, all they want to do is live a life where they are left alone to live in dignity and peace. So I look around this park on this 3rd of May, and I see people who feel the same way. So give yourselves a round of applause. All right, now, that was my firebrand portion of the program.
Well done.
I would like to bring up to the stage our first speaker, and he is one of the greatest friends a community could have. He not only has been a city councilor, he was our mayor for a period of time. He is a business person in our community. He has served on human rights councils. He has shown up and shown out for all of us in this community. Would you please welcome a current city councilor? Please welcome Jeffrey Bernstein.
Thank you. I don't know if I can follow that firebrand. So happy May Day, everybody. The day when workers rise up and say enough is enough. So I was asked to talk about the economy, and I do have a confession to make. I went to an Ivy League, I believe in education, and I studied economics, so that's 3 strikes against me. But here's what I know. This isn't even just about Democrats versus Republicans. This is about economic stability versus economic insanity. It's a fight between building a shared future versus maintaining a rigged system for a handful of billionaires. It's a fight between the American dream versus the nightmare of criminals in charge. It's a fight between protecting our inalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness versus stripping our nation of those rights.
That'll probably fly.
It's a fight between the people who believe that all are created equal and now a government that says equality no longer has a place in America. It's a fight between a nation that was once so proud to say, give us your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, and now a nation that says, get out. Pure and simple, it's a fight between the health of our nation and the wealth of a few individuals. And when people are worried about the price of groceries and rent and housing and health care and their Social Security, what's happening in Washington? More chaos, more culture wars, more distractions, more tax cuts for the wealthy. That's not governing, that's looting. And around the world, things aren't any better. Instead of standing with our allies, we're picking fights, tearing up trade agreements, turning friends into enemies. That doesn't make America stronger, it makes us weaker. We don't grow stronger by standing alone. We grow stronger by standing together. Look at us today. And it doesn't take a degree in economics or experience to know what's happening in Washington makes no sense. Tariffs that hurt Americans, consumers, and businesses, that makes no sense. Slashing taxes for billionaires while working families struggle, that makes no sense. Banning books instead of funding schools, that makes no sense. Cutting Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid while giving subsidies to private jets, that makes no sense. Deporting the immigrant workers we rely on as a workforce and a brain trust, that makes no sense. Turning away foreign tourists who want to spend their money in our countries, in our city, that makes no sense. Gutting healthcare and creating a nation of illness, that makes no sense. Attacking our allies by cozying up to dictators, that makes no sense. And cutting education spending while our allies and enemies increase theirs, that makes no sense. Shutting down clean energy while our nation burns, that makes no sense. And passing laws to control people's bodies while ignoring poverty, that makes no sense. Destroying the economy that made America the richest nation in the world, that makes no sense. And when I say it makes no sense, it goes everything this country was founded upon, our Constitution, our Declaration of our Independence, and every single law of economics. Again, this is not governing, this is looting. But we're not powerless. When we can change things, when we organize, when we vote, when we show up like you all did today, and you do every week, and you do every day, and when we hear or see or read another outrageous, ridiculous, infuriating thing, don't give up. Double down. It's possible to fix this because of you, because of us, and because no matter what, I still believe that this is the greatest city in the greatest state, and no matter what cloud hangs over us, we're still the greatest country in the world. We just need to bring that back and say enough is enough. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Jeffrey Bernstein. Love that guy. How many people in the audience by a cheer? How many, this is your first rally. Thank you. This isn't going to be the last. We're going to need you. We're going to need a big tent. We're going to need everybody. And there are things that you can do. There's a sign-up table, and you can sign up and you can help out. And in lots of different ways. You could be a person that gets voter registration, gets people signed up to vote. You could be a relentless caller. Do you like to talk on the phone? Well, then why not do it with some of the elected officials in Washington? They'd love to hear from you.
I wish it were.
You can also be an armchair warrior, and you can work all of the algorithms of social media to spread the word. And as a matter of fact, there is a sign right down here, and that has got the hashtags for you to tag your photographs that you take, because you're all gorgeous and you know you're going to go viral. So put those hashtags on so that we can spread this Palm Springs love around the world. And also we can spread the message to activists who are in different silos. How many people are over the age of 40? Okay then. We see all the same things in our social media feeds, right? Yeah, we see the Rachel Maddow, old movies, Broadway show tunes, classic cars. But the younger generation doesn't get the same feed because the billionaires like Zuckerberg want to make sure that certain parts of our society stay ignorant. So they keep them siloed away from messages that we might have for them. So use the hashtags, reach out to another generation, and make this message go around the world, because Palm Springs has got power. And to me, one of the most powerful voices in this community, if not the world, is Sweet Baby J. She is a jazz singer, songwriter, producer, arranger, playwright, founder of the Sunset Music and Education Foundation. She is the executive director of Sunset Music Group, and she brings women and jazz into the Coachella Valley on a regular basis. I absolutely adore her. Give her a big welcome, Sweet Baby J!
Good morning, beautiful people, baby. Say hey. I see some great signs. Trump's father should have pulled out. Which clown is more terrifying? Trump lies. We've got some great stuff. Trump for prison 2024. It's some great signs. We come together to give what we know is the truth, because we're not getting it otherwhere in any other place except MSNBC, apparently. We'll try. So today I'm talking about voter rights and civil rights, and I'm thrilled to be here today with you, with all the beautiful faces, because that means we're doing something. Energy. Thank you very much, baby. Now, we just don't want to talk about rights, right? We want to demand them, because we're at that point that we have to demand them. And we thought, or if you thought, that fight for civil rights, when you or your older siblings or your parents had fought that fight and won, I got news for you. We are still fighting that fight. It is still going on. So let's start with something that we know. Voting. Voting is the cornerstone of our democracy, right? Right, and it is under attack, a very foundation of our rights. There are efforts to make it harder for people to vote, especially for us in marginalized communities. We can't let that slide. Now, while we're bombarded with these, oh my God, did he do this? Oh my God, every day there's something happening in the background. But they are behind the scenes making sure that we are going to have a difficult time. And while some of us are saying, well, you know what, if we just give it another 2 years, we'll be able to vote him out. No, it doesn't work that way. Because they are working on voter suppression right now. They are working on those laws to make it harder to register, harder to cast a ballot, harder to be heard. From gerrymandering to restrictive voter ID laws, to closing polling stations, to limiting access to ballot boxes. It's a direct attack on the democratic process. And they are doing that now in preparation for 2 years from now. So we have to be prepared. We have to be prepared when we go in to get these clowns out of the White House. And let's not forget the executive orders with that big magic marker and that big camera reality TV show happening every day. Just amazing. It's designed not to protect, but to strip us from our rights. Orders that turn back the progress that we've made, that demand proof of citizenship in ways that create chaos. This is all an attack on what we do, that disenfranchise so many communities. They're stripping us, but we won't let that happen. We won't let them win. We cannot, we will not let them erase our voices. This is why we're here. We cannot, we will not let them erase our voices. Now, if you ask me, civil rights and voting rights, they go hand in hand. It's like two coins, right? It's the same side of the coin. So we have to both demand that we show up, that we stand proud, that we stand tall, that we let our voices ring out, because this is what we do. This is how we show that that energy is going to beget energy, and it keeps creating and rolling and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Civil rights aren't just for a moment in time or a few. They're for every black, brown, indigenous, LGBTQ+, veteran, disabled, woman, for anyone who has been told that you are less than everyone else, pushed out, pushed aside. Let me tell you, they are lying. You are not. We matter. We always have mattered, and we always will matter. We always have, and we always will matter. And let's be clear, the fight for civil rights is not just for a few. It's for workers. It's for veterans. It's for the farmers and for the small business owners that have been cut off at the knees by these tariffs. It is for the seniors whose Medicare and whose Social Security, we are under attack. Our very lives are at risk. And while he says things to the tune of, so what? Maybe somebody will just buy 2 dollies for their babies and not 38. When we're talking about our livelihoods, this man is talking about taking away our lives. It matters not to them, but we will show up, we will show out, and we will show proudly that we will not take this anymore. This is one thing I know for sure. This is one thing I know for sure. We are stronger than they think we are. We are. We are a force of nature. When we rise together, we break down the walls that they build up to try to separate us. They are afraid of all of this. All of us standing here, all of this magic. Look at all those signs. Do me a favor, rise the sign above your head and say, no more, no more, no more. Hands off our democracy. Stand up for democracy, freedom, due process, immigrants, labor. Stand up against autocracy and oligarchs. This is what I'm talking about. So today we send a message loud and clear. We will fight for our rights. We will stand in the face of oppression. We will hold elected officials accountable, and we will make our voices heard at the polls. Whether they like it or not, we're coming, and we're coming for change. We are. We have it. And let me make something perfectly clear. This is a fact. This man is a felon. He is a felon. He was found liable for sexual assault. We have a criminal in charge of our democracy, and we cannot let that stand. We cannot accept that. So, Congress, let me tell you, they are missing in action. Ken Calvert is hiding out. You haven't seen him. He's hiding out. So no one is coming to save us. We are going to have to be our saviors. There's no Wonder Woman. There's no Superman. There's no Captain America. You are the superheroes of our own story. So let me tell you, baby, put on your red cape, because we won't let anyone take our rights away. No. Not now, not ever. So today, we rise to reclaim what's ours. Our voting rights, our civil rights. We have a fight ahead of us, but we will win that fight. So I leave you with these words that I wrote, a poem for this moment in time. It is called the fight for justice. We thought the battle was done. The fight for voting rights had won, that the civil rights movement's work had sung, that our voices now free were no longer undone. We thought that the woman's right to choose was sealed, that justice and equality would always be revealed. But now we see those rights, those hopes, those dreams are being chipped away, torn at the seams. We thought the images of water hoses and dogs clipping at our feet through the smoke and the fog, that the beatings on Pettus Bridge would stop the fight, but now we see that struggle was never won, not by sight. Those struggles weren't in vain. They didn't go to naught. I refuse to believe those battles didn't count for the fight we've sought. The scars they left are still with us today, but we're still here and we will not fade away. Artists have always stood on the side of right. From Billie Holiday's Strange Fruit to Beyonce's Light. Voices that spark, that lead us to rise, that call us to action, that open our eyes. My friend Ruthie Berman, at 85, ready to fight once more. Her spirit's alive, she's knocking down the door. Her signs in the closet, faded and cracked. Dust them off, the fight's still intact, baby, and that's wet. Still intact. So we rise again and again and again, for the work is never done, my friends. We stand in the shadows of what we've gained, but we'll fight for what's ours unchained. Because freedom is a river that never stops flowing, and we are the ones that keep it glowing. Together, we will not fall, we will not break, we will fight for justice's sake. So rise up, stand strong, justice won't wait. Put on your red cape, baby, rise up, stand strong, justice won't wait. Say it with me, rise up, stand strong, justice won't wait. Rise up, stand strong, justice won't wait. Woo! Thank you so much. Let's go and do this. Get ready, everybody. We're in it together.
We are ready. Thanks to Sweet Baby J. All right, before we bring on our next speaker, I have to ask you, what do you think of the haircut, huh? Yesterday I went to my barber. He works 6 days a week. He raises a family. He is a working class guy, and he pays for all of his own supplies and clippers and all of that stuff. And I said, I need this haircut because I got to be in front of all my favorite people in Palm Springs on stage for the rally. He goes, oh, I'm not interested in politics. And I said, but politics is interested in you. You paid for all those supplies, right? Yes. Where do you get them? China. I said, guess what? They doubled in price today. I said, do you see any Canadians coming to your barber chair? No, not lately. I said, some went home, but some are never coming back. And that's because of Donald Trump. It is going to affect everybody. Everybody, whether they are interested in politics or not, whether they're Democrat, whether they're Republican, whether they can even vote or not, everybody is going to be affected. So we have to stand up for everybody. The signs, they're beautiful. The penmanship is fantastic. The spelling is perfect. Why is that? Teachers! Yes! And now, since you got an A for penmanship, creativity, and spelling, I would like to bring up a former educator and vice president of the United Teachers Union of Los Angeles, now the voter registration coordinator for Courageous Resistance. Please welcome Becky Robinson.
I'm thinking that some of you here are still working. Am I correct? And some of you used to work and are now retired, yes? And some of you will be working, yes? Yes. Okay. For 25 years, I was a classroom teacher. For many of those years, I was also the building rep for United Teachers Los Angeles, UTLA, the second largest teachers union in the country. For a few years, I was also the area chair in the East area of Los Angeles. And for those of you who are from Los Angeles, Antonio Villaraigosa was the union staff person that was assigned to me. And needless to say, I didn't vote for him for mayor, and I won't vote for him for governor. And then, for 8 years, I was a release time officer or vice president of United Teachers Los Angeles, and then I was the building rep for the central offices of the Los Angeles Unified School District. What is it that I wanted, and I believe every single one of you wants? A living wage, yes? Yes. Education, yes? Health insurance. The ability to buy a house and raise your family. To be able to eat lunch in peace. To be able to go to the bathroom when you have to. To be treated fairly and equally, and to have retirement security. Am I right? And if you were lucky enough to belong to a union, then you had or have a contract that defines your rights and the process to be followed for those who are not effective in their work. And if you were not lucky enough to be in a union, you also benefited from union work. Weekends, the 8-hour day, overtime, bathroom breaks, a piss poor but a minimum wage. And as a note, May 1st, 1886 was the day the workers walked out for our 8-hour day. And I heard over and over again in my union work that all unions do is protect bad teachers. No, that is not true. You have heard these words a lot lately in regards to the federal firings, immigration issues, all of it caused by the orange turd. And the two words are due process. And what that means is regardless of a positive or a negative outcome, the rights of the accused are protected. Kilmar may eventually be deported if he's ever brought back. The mother with the child with stage 4 cancer may be deported if she ever comes back. The women that were fired from the labor board, the federal workers that were fired and brought back, they may wind up losing their jobs. But that would only be fair after their due process rights have been followed. And what rights? The right to a fair hearing of the issues. To be treated equally as others in the same position. And to have a fair determination of the outcome. I believe that is fair. Do you? Yes. And what is happening to the workers right now is not fair. Do ineffective workers keep their jobs? Sometimes yes. Because due process was not followed by the lazy person in power who thought that they had much more power than they did. But most often, after due process, the worker is exonerated
from the bogus retaliation claims that were made by that person in power, and they get to keep their jobs. That's what's happening right now for the federal workers. Their union is out there working for them in the courts and wherever they have to be. Right now, their union is out there working for them. Every single worker is important to the life of all of us, every one of us. And we need to support every worker and their unions, because it just doesn't help them, it helps us, doesn't it? And this is the time to say thank you to yourselves as well, because each and every one of you that had any job at all, including babysitting when you were 13, has made someone else's life better because you did your job. We are a union of the people, aren't we? I wasn't around. For some of them, I wasn't even born yet, when the unions fought for safety standards, child labor laws, retirement security, unemployment insurance, the weekend, minimum wage. But I fight now because someone long ago fought for me. Just remember, solidarity forever. For our union of people makes us strong. Thank you.
Wouldn't you have wanted to have Becky as a teacher? No. I would have been after school every single day. I will not talk out of turn in class. Keep writing it on the blackboard. I would like to recognize the folks who are doing our ASL sign language interpretation, and we thank Holly Mason and the wonderful Martin Coogan. There's Martin. Fastest hands in the West. I'd also like to recognize DJ Galaxy from KG 106.5 and 92.1. My co-worker and colleague. I call him, I say, hey, we're doing another rally. You want to lug all of the heavy, expensive equipment that you usually get a huge rental fee for and do it for free? He goes, yep, I'm in. Does it every time. We love our Galaxy. All right. The sign with divine sneering at Donald Trump over there, it says, trash.
I love it.
I freaking love that. I love all of you. You're amazing. And now we're going to bring somebody to the stage who blends tech strategy and creativity. And she doesn't even need AI to do it. She served as a leader for the Riverside County Democratic Party's Neighbor to Neighbor program and recently managed a city council campaign in Palm Desert. Please welcome Kelly Graziano!
Hi, everybody. You're a beautiful sight. So today, we honor May Day. It was earlier this week, but it's a day born of the struggle for workers' rights and the fight against exploitation. And so today, we have to recognize a new and growing threat. It's not coming from union-busting bosses or corporate greed, although that is still there. Today it's coming from the machinery of the government itself. Because while we fight for justice, Trump and Musk are building a system to dismantle it, one database at a time. You can boo. So DOGE, the so-called Department of Government Efficiency, was created on day one of Trump's presidency with a single executive order. It was the biggest illegal power grab in modern American history. This one move gave DOGE access to the most sensitive personal data the federal government has, And now, just 100 days in, here's where we stand. Yesterday, Trump announced his administration is taking the fight to the Supreme Court, demanding full access to the Social Security Administration's database. They want your banking information, the disability status, your medical history, your family records, your immigration file. That's every detail the government has collected on every one of us since birth. All right? So here's one thing we know. It's not about efficiency. It's about control. And we already know what that power looks like when it's abused. Because in April, DOJ falsely flagged over 60,000 immigrants as dead. Their social security numbers were deactivated, their banks were notified, they were flagged for deportation. They had no credit, no income, no access to their very own money, and they had no recourse. So again, this is not about efficiency, right? We see that. This is about control. And since March, get this, you're gonna love this one, DOJ has declared more than 11 million Americans dead in the Social Security system. People are waking up to find their identities frozen and their lives in bureaucratic limbo. So again, not about efficiency, right? It's about control. Musk and Trump aren't just building a policy, they're building a profile, the defining tool of every authoritarian regime, a dossier on every American. They're scraping data from across multiple government systems and then funneling it into a single, centralized master database under the control of the Department of Homeland Security. Not about efficiency. This is about control. And what do you think they're going to do with all that power? They can target opponents, blacklist activists like us, deport whoever they choose, freeze benefits, deny health care, and flag anybody who steps out of line. They can predict your actions, manipulate your choices, impersonate your identity, and weaponize your past. Not about efficiency, right? It's about control. No one is safe. Not you, not me, and not our elected leaders. They will find, DOJ will find, that one embarrassing thing we all have, and they're going to weaponize it. They're going to leak it to your boss. They're going to sell it to your opponent. They're going to hold it over your head. Compromat, Putin style. Not about efficiency, it's about control. And even if they don't come for you directly, they're going to sell your data to corporations who will use it to deny you housing, credit, jobs, and health care, all while bombarding you with ads and propaganda. That's not democracy, it's dystopia. And it's already here. Ask the workers at the Department of Veterans Affairs, the EPA, the State Department, or USAID. Right now, DOJ is using AI to track their emails, monitor their calls, record their meetings, and scan for words like equity and inclusion. But what they're really looking for is disloyalty. It was never about efficiency. It was always about control. But here's the good news. We can still fight back. So I'm asking you right now to do 3 things. Get louder, get braver, and get in their way. So, right? Get louder means call your representatives, demand they shut down DOJ, support groups like the ACLU, Electronic Frontier Foundation, and Fight for the Future, and ask your friends to donate too. Do it publicly. Be out there. Be loud. And then get braver. And that means use encrypted messaging, install a VPN, and switch to privacy-first platforms. So be brave. Operate, but operate under the radar. And the third thing to do is to get in their way. We need to build community. Join the courageous resistance. Become a trusted voice in your neighborhood by becoming a neighborhood leader, a neighbor-to-neighbor rep. I see some in the crowd today. Volunteer where you're most needed, out in the public, out in the community, and build community, because this is the new front line. You are the new front line. DOJ thrives on secrecy. We thrive on solidarity, and this isn't about our data, it's about our freedom, our future, and our power. The country doesn't belong to a few oligarchs building a surveillance state. It belongs to us. So thank you for showing up, standing up, speaking out, and reminding the people in power that we're watching them too.
Thank you. Hey, did anybody hear that airplane go by a little while ago? It went. I'm a plane nerd. That is a World War II era P-51 Mustang with a 1,000 horsepower engine. It was built by women. Rosie the Riveter and her gal pals, probably in Long Beach at the plants during World War II. It was flown and serviced and supported by the greatest generation, and they used those planes to fight fascism. Now we've got those planes in our Palm Springs Air Museum, and they're really fun to ride in and look at and listen to. We have got to be there as the new greatest generation, because the threat is just as serious. And there are people in our Congress who are stepping up to actually face that threat and actually going over there, leaving America, to go to El Salvador, to demand the release of wrongly deported Kilmar Abrego Garcia. And saying the name of Andre Jose Hernandez Romero, who is a gay makeup artist, and he went to El Salvador. We're trying to get Andre back, but we want to bring to the stage a champion for all of us. Please welcome, from the 42nd Congressional District, representative from California, Robert Garcia!
Thank you. Hey y'all, how we doing? How we doing? All right. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. First of all, let me, this is an amazing crowd of people that love their country. Of people that love their country. And I see so many great signs. Let's see all those signs up really quick. These are so good. These are so good. Thank you. Look, I'm very, very grateful to be here with all of you today, and grateful for an opportunity to share with you about what is happening right now in the United States and across the world. We are at a dangerous moment. A dangerous moment. Now, I'm from Long Beach, California, not too far from here for all of you. And I've only been in Congress now for just one term. So I was the mayor of Long Beach for 8 years. And I of course, am your neighbor. I'm not too far from all of you. My name is Robert Garcia, a newly freshman member of Congress, and now being thrust, like all of you, into this new fight that is so important for all of us to take on. I'm grateful to all of the public workers that are here, whether you are a teacher, a union member, you're out in healthcare, you're working for the community. Let's give all of our workers a big round of applause. We also know that this moment right now is exactly what you've heard earlier today. This moment is about us, the country, the people, versus the few billionaires in this country that want to take everything from all of us, your work, your benefits, your labor, and then take all of that earned wealth so they can give themselves massive tax cuts for themselves and their corporations.
At the expense of our democracy.
That's exactly right, at the expense of our democracy. They don't care about our democracy. They don't care about working families. They don't care about people that are suffering. What happened to our country? We should be a country that believes that government is here to actually help people. Our government is here to actually help people. But that is not what Donald Trump believes. Donald Trump, in my opinion, and I hope in all of yours, is the single worst person to ever be president of the United States in the history of our country. He is a con man. He is a criminal. He is a felon. And he is a horrible human being. We also know that he is now empowered by the world's richest man, to lie, to steal, to influence elections, to ruin our democracy, all in the service of themselves and their billionaire friends. All in service of themselves and their billionaire friends. And you know who else? You know who else is actually out there encouraging Elon Musk and Donald Trump? Your Congressman, Ken Calvert. And I want to know is, where's Ken Calvert? 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 Ken Calvert. He's obsessed. He's obsessed with taking away your Medicare, taking back and rolling back your Social Security, destroying Medicaid and Medi-Cal in this state, and doing nothing to protect the rights of women, of the LGBTQ plus community, of immigrants who are coming to our country because they are suffering, of students and their rights to protest. Ken Calvert is everything that is wrong with this country and the United States Congress. And Ken Calvert is missing in action. He won't do a town hall. He won't show up to talk to his constituents. He won't answer questions. But he sure is profiting off all of our hard work. He sure is continuing to run every year. And this time, in this next election, we are going to beat Ken Calvert. And a lot of you guys are going to get sick of me, but I'm going to be here over and over and over again because I am committed, and adopting this district, we are going to beat Ken Calvert. Let me share with all of you what actually Ken Calvert supports. I want to talk about Elon Musk and Doge. Now, you all may or may not know this, but we have a Doge committee in the House. You probably are aware of this. It's chaired by Marjorie Taylor Greene. So I was asked by the House, by our leadership, to be on this committee, reluctantly so. But of course, I'm going to do what I need to do to take her on every single time and call out all of her lies and her bullshit every single time. This is what Marjorie Taylor Greene and Elon Musk want to do and are doing to this country. They want to eliminate and are all foreign aid across the world. The work of us as a country is unprecedented in the good works we've done to help the poor, the starving, the needy around the world. Today, we are shutting down warehouses across the world that we operate. We're letting food rot in front of hungry people in other parts of the world because we do not believe anymore in helping the hungry, the poor, and the sick around the world. That is what Marjorie Taylor Greene and Elon Musk and Donald Trump believe American foreign policy should be. What else do they believe? This one makes me sick. As a longtime teacher myself, they want to destroy and eliminate the Department of Education, as you all know. And in California, what everyone needs to understand what that means. The Department of Education is the single largest funding mechanism for classrooms that have students with disabilities. For children with disabilities in the state of California and around the world and the country, they're mostly funded by grants and large amounts of funding from the Department of Education. Now, I've talked to superintendents up and down the state of California. The number one request, even prior to Doge, was we need more funding for these classrooms. Because of course, you need additional teachers, less students. These children and families need our support. The elimination of the Department of Education hurts nobody more than children with disabilities and their families. That is sick and shameful. And Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and Marjorie Taylor Greene should be ashamed of themselves for hurting our vulnerable kids and families in our classrooms. And they don't stop there. They want to hurt our veterans by taking away veterans' benefits at our VAs. They want to hurt our brave federal workers, our postal workers that are delivering our mail. We know that they are already underfunded. They want to take away and privatize the mail service. They want to privatize Social Security. They want to damage our government so bad that we will then turn to them and say, well, if you privatize it, it'll run better. If you sell it off to a big corporation, they can make your Social Security system run better. That is their plan, ladies and gentlemen. Their plan is to destroy so much of our federal government, to turn the public against the very federal workers that are sustaining what we do in our government. That's right. They want to privatize health. They want to privatize everything so they can actually benefit off of all of our hard work and the things that we've created. And they want to hurt our communities that are most vulnerable. Trans lives matter. Absolutely. Trans lives matter. And I'll tell you this, as one of the few openly gay people in Congress, our rights are now moving back for the first time in decades. Our rights are moving back, and we've got to stand up and protect it. I want to share one thing and talk a little bit about immigration. This is really important. I'm an immigrant. I came to the United States when I was a young child. I came to the U.S. My parents brought me here because they believed, like a lot of immigrants and a lot of our families, a lot of us, in a better future for their kids and their families. We came here. I did not become a U.S. citizen till I was in my early 20s. I spent most of my life either undocumented or not knowing if I'd ever have the same benefits as my friends and my students when I was in college, when I was in high school, never knowing if I would one day have the same level of support as they did. But we worked hard, we learned English, we did whatever we could, and we all became U.S. citizens. The promise of this country is that we could become U.S. citizens. What we are doing to immigration and to immigrants and migrants in this country is disgusting. This is not the United States of America. This is no longer a place that is welcoming, that used to welcome people that were running away from fear, from killing, from murder, from rape, from sexual abuse, from discrimination. That is why immigrants and migrants have come to this country year after year to work and to make their families better. I gotta tell you all something. We are in a constitutional crisis right now. We are in a constitutional crisis right now. The United States Supreme Court, no friend of ours, the United States Supreme Court has mandated in a 9-0 unanimous decision that Donald Trump must bring back Kilmar Abrego Garcia to the United States. A 9-0 Supreme Court. And yet, he is defying the Supreme Court and saying that he's not going to bring him back. My friends, you all need to understand we all need to understand that a president defying the Supreme Court is a new red line of which we cannot come back from if we do not stop this right now. We cannot come back from a president defying the judicial branch, the Supreme Court of the United States. This is a new crisis. We have to understand how serious this is. This issue is not just about Kilmar. We all want Kilmar back. We know he was sent there as a mistake. The administration has admitted he was sent and deported by a mistake. They know that lower courts have said bring him back. They know the Supreme Court has said bring him back. This is not just about Kilmar, folks. This is about what kind of country are we going to be if Donald Trump does not return and defies the Supreme Court and does not return Kilmar back. This is a constitutional crisis like we have not seen before in the United States.
Rule of law!
That's exactly right. And I want to share, and it was mentioned earlier, I want to share about Andre Romero. This is horrific. But you all need to understand what's happening in this country. Andre Romero is another young man who is gay, was a makeup and hairstylist artist that he lived in Venezuela. He fled persecution because he was gay in his country and because of gangs and his feeling of being unsafe. He then applies for asylum in the United States and gets an appointment from the United States government. We tell Andre, come to the border and claim your asylum at the border at this time. He shows up to claim asylum at an appointment that we gave him. And through that process of the appointment is then essentially kidnapped and sent to a foreign prison in El Salvador, a notorious prison in El Salvador. He has not been heard from in now weeks. This young man, this man is described, and I talked to his lawyer, this young man is described by his family as delicate, as harmless, as sweet. And because he had 2 tattoos of a festival, a crown festival in his hometown that celebrates kings, and it's a local little hometown festival, they viewed those as somehow tattoos of a gang. They sent him to this foreign prison, and we have not heard anything from him since. Is this the United States of America that we want to live in? And so I went to El Salvador to demand from our United States Embassy that they free Kilmar and Andre. And I looked at our United States ambassador in the eye in the embassy in El Salvador. And I told him Andre's story, which he had not heard yet. And I said, how can you do this to someone? And where happened to due process in this country? What happened to due process in this country? Our Constitution gives due process not just to U.S. citizens, but to all persons. To all persons. It's one of the beauties of our Constitution. And so we must work to free Kilmar and Andre. We must work to free Kilmar and Andre. And let me just say this. This is a moment right now where I just got to Congress, but let me tell you, like all of you, I've realized real quick that we have got to fight a lot damn harder. We have to demand that our party, that our representatives, that our members of Congress fight like hell against this authoritarian takeover of our country. We have to put ourselves in harm's way. We have to speak up. We have to push back on every lie every single time. And we cannot be afraid. We cannot be afraid in this moment. We have to stand. You may know that because some of us, myself, have been so loud calling Elon Musk out every time, Donald Trump actually has me right now under investigation for calling Elon Musk a dick. I kid you not. I call Elon Musk a dick on national television and a committee because he is a dick. And 1 week, I kid you not, 1 week later, I get a letter from the U.S. Attorney saying you are now under investigation for trying to cause harm to an official. The U.S. Attorney sending me a letter. So that is what they're trying to do, is intimidate and silence us. The next day, because of this letter, Nancy Mace files a censure resolution against me to censure me. So look, what I say is, look, Elon Musk also, he's now saying he's going to send an opponent to primary me. And what I say to them is, if you've got Donald Trump after you to try to convict you, you got Nancy Mace trying to censure you, you've got Elon Musk trying to primary you, then you're probably doing your job right. You're probably doing your job right. Now, I want to say, and I'll end with this. I want to say, obviously, we have a lot of work to do. We got to protest, we got to fight, we got to be in the way. We got to continue to file court cases, which we're doing. We have filed over 200 court cases. We've won actually a significant amount of those. All that's got to continue. And we have to continue to push and show up at events like this. We got to beat Ken Calvert, which we're going to do. All of those things. But I want to close with just a little story, which I think is really important. It's one that some of us probably know, but it reminds me of the moment that we're in. If you think back to our founding of our Constitution and the Constitutional Convention, we all know that that moment was a turning point in whether we were going to be, what kind of country we were going to be. Were we going to be ruled by kings and queens, or were we going to be something different? That moment when we made those decisions set the stage for where we are today, and we should think about that. Now, you may know the story, and you may know who a woman who Elizabeth Powell is. And if you haven't heard of her, I want to share this with you. Elizabeth Powell was a woman who, during the time of our Constitutional Convention, was engaged. She, of course, women were not allowed at that time to be in the room, right? All the men were in the room writing our Constitution, deciding the future of our country. But she would host events and coffees and mixers and salons at her home so that people could engage in conversation, including women, in these conversations about our Constitution. Elizabeth Powell is a hero for her engagement and what she did. The last night of the Constitutional Convention, Elizabeth Powell is in her home, not able to participate. Women are scattered across, waiting to hear what kind of country we'd have. And she's outside her home, and she sees Benjamin Franklin, walking down, leaving the Constitutional Convention. And of course, Benjamin Franklin is very well known at the time. She sees him and she stops him. And she turns to him and she says, "Well, what is it, sir? What is it? Do we have a monarchy or a republic? Do we have a monarchy or a republic?" What does Benjamin Franklin turn to her and say? "We have a republic if you can keep it. You have a republic if you can keep it." Never, never have Ben Franklin's words been more true than they are right now. A republic if we can keep it. Right? And I think what Benjamin Franklin's words, and I think about those so much now, what Benjamin Franklin was saying to her and to all of us at this moment is it's up to us, because our republic is always going to be fragile. And we're seeing it being tested right now more than ever before. And so it's up to us if we're going to keep our republic, our democracy, our country, and help the people that need our help the most. So it is an honor to be here with all of you. I'm looking forward to saying hello after. And I will continue to come back so that we can work together, beat Ken Calvert, beat Elon Musk, beat Marjorie Taylor Greene, beat Nancy Mace, and beat Donald Trump. Thank you all. Have a good one.
Representative from the 42nd District, Robert Garcia, signs up. Selfie moment. You are beautiful. You are the joyful warriors. You are going to take it to the happy ending that we're going to make happen. We can do this. And Chris Elliott, I'm looking for him. Is Chris Elliott with us? We're all looking for Chris Elliott. Can we have a round of applause once again for Representative Robert Garcia from the 42nd Congressional District? We definitely have Congressman envy here in the 41st, but he's actually showing up and standing in for Ken Calvert at town meetings. And he's going to be back in the Valley I would like to introduce somebody who has been around in the Valley for many, many years. We won't say 30? Three! Oh, but you've been playing how long, Chris?
I've been playing trumpet since I was 10 years old.
And he hasn't lost his lip. He's got it's Chris Elliott. Give him a big round of applause. We're going to close out this rally for May Day 2025 in Palm Springs. I want to thank Courageous Resistance of the Desert. We want to thank Indivisible. We want to thank all of you. Your signs, your enthusiasm, your faces, your energy. You're beautiful. So let's listen to Chris. Play us out.
All right, we borrowed this song from the civil rights movement, but I think it's okay to do so because this community knows something about being an oppressed community, large segments of it. So any dissonance that you hear between where the song comes from and its current employment should be forgiven. And sing along.